The guy in Fleetwood Mac, John McVie.
Okay.
John McVie. Yeah.
And then also...
The guy from Grateful Dead have one?
Yeah. And also Doobie Brothers.
So this is a buddy of yours
really?
that got, what is it? It's an Olympic. Which model is it?
Series 1.
Series 1. What year?
73.
73.
And how much did they weigh? I don't want to know.
It's not that heavy because it's chambered.
They are?
Or that one is.
I don't know. I always thought those... Wow, that's cool.
This is...
4-string or
close.
5-string?
That's basically it.
It's a 4-string.
It's a 4. Back in the
With
70s.
the dummy
That's where
coil
the battery
thing, and
goes.
the battery goes right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that actually looks a lot like Jimmy Johnson's, except
That's
this is
crazy.
a walnut or something.
Let me see.
The skinny
actually-
necks, too.
It's weird because the... Are we talking about it now?
We're talking about it now because I just figure what the heck.
It's weird because the neck is the same width all the way down.
Oh, is that right? Like the Hofner's.
The Hopkins with that. Rickenbacker's too, right?
No,
all the way
there's a
down.
little bit of taper.
That has a little taper. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm saying. And I'm supposedly a bass geek. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Now you do.
Now I do. Now I'm schooled. So, all right, guys, we are here. Hey, we're shooting and we're recording. So, yeah, that's Howard Ulyate, everybody.
Don't make any funny faces.
Yeah, don't make funny faces. So, so guys, yeah. So this is the Bass Hang podcast, videocast. The series I'm calling Bass Geeks because that's
Geeks.
what we are. So today, for this episode 2, we have Howard Ulyate of Ulyate Instruments, Ulyate
Hi.
Pickups. Makes incredible gear, pickups. Your website, ulyateinstruments.com.
That's correct.
Check it out. Look at him. Look for him on Facebook. We also have my buddy Doug Koeppen, who you know from Bass Hang alumni. So he's here going to be helping us talk stuff, talk gear. Before we start, I've started this thing where I do give shout outs to companies that really help out. And we're going to include you in this too because we should, because you've actually helped out a lot. So we have A Design. So again, helping us out with the Bass Hang and companies that have been really supportive. A Designs Audio, Nordstrand, that's Kerry Nordstrand with all the stuff that he does, pickups, guitars, amplification, DR Strings, we have Form Factor, Cabinets, Marco Basses, Apogee Electronics, and Ulyate Instruments. So,
And Ray Roger.
and Ray Roger now too. So
Roger.
that's what we're going to talk about first. So
Oh, man, that's a lot of support.
it's a lot of support. So it's very cool. Bass Hang is very fortunate. So yeah, so we're going to bass geek out. And what did you bring? You brought something very, very different and cool.
Ray Roger bass.
Ray Roger.
Ray Roger
Okay.
bass. He sent this to me. I've been making his pickups for some time now.
Okay.
And he uses other people's pickups too, but I just got him into these new diagonally dual coiled pickups.
Okay, so each pickup is 2 coils hum canceling.
That's correct.
Okay.
So it's like a dual coil, single dual coil.
Side by side, though.
Side by side,
Not
yeah.
stacked.
You can see that see how they're diagonally staggered?
Cool. All right.
So each one of these, that's a coil and that's a coil.
Nice.
So they're hum canceling, but still kind of have a single coil sound.
Okay. And then Ray Rogers, where did he, what's like pedigree start? What did he do? Where did he start?
I believe he's from New York,
Okay.
and then he was in Puerto Rico for some time making instruments.
Okay.
And then he just moved back to New York. And I know that he's worked for Carl Thompson. He worked for Carl Thompson for quite a while, and I believe he also worked for Fodera.
Okay.
Which kind of, if you look at this,
Yeah.
you can see some
Fodera-esque-ness.
Fodera influence.
Got it. Okay. And we have a Buckeye.
Buckeye top.
Uh-huh.
There's some sort of strip in there, which I think does that look like mahogany to you?
Looks like mahogany.
And then
Yeah.
ash body. No cover.
That's how Howard Ulyate rolls. No cover.
No cover.
And it's a thick body. Like it's a thick, substantial feeling
This
bass.
thing is almost 2 inches thick,
Okay.
which is wild.
Cool.
Looks like a hip shot hardware.
Hip shot bridge.
Godo.
Godo tuners, but then I added this hip shot D tuner for the
Cool.
E string that goes down to a D.
Okay.
And a hip shot string retainer.
Nice. Yeah. And the neck feels very very Fenderish. Very Fenderish. Very C-shaped, right?
Yes.
It's not like a and this is passive, all passive. That's a big net. It feels substantial.
It's got a, yeah.
It's great. It's really, really...
What about the nut width?
That's a good question. It
Looks like maybe 1 5/8.
could be. Do you have a ruler? Do we have a ruler?
I think I do. Hold on here. I had it. Oh, hey, look at this. Ooh, little micrometer. So, nut width.
I don't know. It looks like 1 3/4.
1 3/4.
Oh, is it that wide? Really?
Huh.
Because when I was playing it, it didn't have that big sort of P bass feel. It felt very
No,
comfortable.
no, it's 1 1/2. Sorry.
It's 1 1/2.
1 1/2. So it's jazz bass.
Wow, nice. Yeah, it's very comfortable.
But it's but it's very big this way.
Yeah, it's wider. Yeah. It's a little deep, but I didn't find it uncomfortable.
Oh, it's nice, man. This thing plays great. I mean, the build quality is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
It's actually beautiful.
Yeah. It has the matching headstock, Buckeye matching headstock. Mm-hmm. Here, do a little ditty. Play us a little song.
What I like about this bass is it likes to be played hard.
Okay.
You can
dig in.
Really beat the.
Well, that's the pickups too, right? I mean,
yeah.
That's a testament to it. So, how are you winding these pickups? What are you basing them off of?
I'm kind of, well, it's. I want the single coil sound, but I'm kind of actually making these kind of like a hot P bass.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of in between.
Huh.
And actually, in the 90s, I had access to one of those JD basses. Remember JD?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mark King.
Yeah.
Those
you
had.
Want to play it? Go play it,
those basses came with like a dual coil, or a split coil, where it's 2 strings each get their own coil.
Okay.
And then they were under a wood cover. So you would never know unless you... So that was what kind of influenced this.
Okay. That's cool.
So volume, tone, just passive.
Yeah, crank it up. We're fine. I mean, you want the volume all the way up to get the juice flowing. Sounds good. What strings are you using?
These are DR high beams.
DR high beams?
45, 65, 85, 105. Cool. This is my choice.
That's my gauge too, man. Yeah. Nice.
I think any pickup I make, or at least I'm always just trying to make something that sounds like a nice warm 60s jazz bass.
Yeah, there you go.
That's always like,
just your...
but maybe a little hotter in output so that it hits the amp a little bit harder.
I really like that bass.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's very organic. It's really
it's very, very cool.
Expression.
What does Ray Rogers specialize in? Like this one, like what is he
He does a lot of jazz basses.
Okay.
He does a single cut jazz bass.
Okay.
That a lot of guys really seem to like.
Nice.
They're and a lot of 5 and 6 string basses. I know he uses a lot of ash.
Got it.
For his bodies.
And he used to be, was he our bass before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So he used to be our basses.
Now it's Roger.
Now it's Roger. Okay. Roger or Rogers? Roger.
Roger.
R-O-G-E-R.
Yeah.
Is he on? He's on Facebook, online, or whatever.
Facebook,
okay.
Ray Roger.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get 5-string would be kind of cool to see of his. Sounds like a warm jazz bass. Warm vintage jazz bass.
Yeah. It's just like it's like a warm jazz bass, but you're not plagued with some of those early jazz bass problems.
That's cool. Yeah.
Where the truss rod would push the top frets up.
Yeah. Are we sponsored by?
So looks like he used the burl from the top.
Yeah.
The dots on the
Buckeye dots.
That's pretty cool. That's an original thing.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
All right, Ray.
All integrated.
I think the Bass Hang would like to check out one of these.
Yeah.
Really organic sounding.
A lot of punch, a lot of attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's all. Everything all up.
Just a bridge.
And they're hum canceling, so you can play
Yeah.
that bridge pickup or neck pickup.
That's bitching. You're doing good stuff, Howard. I like these pickups. I like this whole thing. Nice.
Truss rod adjusts down here as opposed to the top.
Yeah.
I believe he uses the two-way truss rod,
Uh-huh.
which is great.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, and then. They have a detuner on that.
Yeah.
Do they always come with strap locks? Is that a standard?
No, I put those on there myself.
That's awesome, man. It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful bass.
Yeah, construction is just ridiculous on it.
Yeah.
Just top notch. Cool. All right.
All right.
Let's to the next thing.
What else you got?
The next thing that I have. Here, we'll put this up there. Here, we'll go back to this.
What do we got?
We have DR strings. DR strings. Pure blues. So it's a new string from DR that's not going to be available until April. So these strings are coming out in April, but DR was nice enough to hook up the Bass Hang with one set, and they gave strings to different people just to try out. So so we just put them on this bass. I want you to play it. So it is we're playing the Nordstrand VJ5 70s. Has Alnico 3 pickups. Yeah, you want to let's face the camera a little bit more there.
Yeah.
There we go. So I just put these on. These are fresh. So the story with these is that they're nickel, but with the feel of steel. So their tagline is the best of steel with nickel feel. So and they're made with quantum nickel. That's what they're made out of. So
Quantum nickel.
I'm steel strings all the way.
Me too.
So this is going to be an interesting.
And I love nickel strings.
And Doug loves nickel strings.
I love the feel of nickel strings. A little softer and
Yeah.
not to fight with them so much, easier on the finger.
I kind of like the rough. Somewhat.
I like the steel strings.
Yeah.
I find that when you break them in, they're great. At first, they are a little bit.
Yeah.
So pure blues. Now this is not to be confused with their neon series. They're not. They don't have a coating. They're non-coated. They're just quantum nickel.
They're not blue.
They're not blue. So
They're the color of string, whatever.
Whatever
silver.
that silver. Yeah. So
No coating.
No coating. So what do you think? They sound great. They feel.
You feel great.
And they're smoother than steel.
Yeah.
For sure.
They feel like they're tighter.
Yeah, because I'm super familiar with like lowriders, the fat beams, the high beams, big time familiar. So do they feel a little tighter?
How does this work?
Okay, so master volume, passive tone, and then this is active. You're in active mode right now, except right there is flat. So that's passive tone. Yep, that's bridge pickup.
I dig.
They're fat sounding. A little,
Nice.
maybe a little smoother sounding than steel. Little boogie.
Yeah. nice.
The little fret, yeah. The Nordy uses what, medium?
Banjo frets.
Banjo frets.
Yeah.
I really think the way that the frets are set in a bass, in terms of how they're leveled out,
Yeah.
really makes or break, can make or break a set of strings.
Here, Doug, play
The way a
it.
bass
Since
plays.
you like nickel strings, I'll play it later, but.
I can't get used to these controls.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, it's a lot, but I have gotten used to it because I love the passive tone right there, because sometimes if I'm too bright, I just roll off a little bit. It's kind of a pain sometimes, but I've gotten used to it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You get enough bright out of it for your steel string, preference?
Say that again?
Do you get enough bright out of these?
Yeah.
For your steel string? Because I'm so used to playing nickels. That's pretty spanky, man.
Yeah. Can you hand me my phone? I'm going to social media a little bit here. What do you think, Doug?
Well, they're really bright.
They're bright.
There's a definite hi-fi quality to them.
But they feel great on my fingers. I like that. I don't like my fingers getting chewed up for the first week.
Yeah.
Now, would you say like the steel strings would be like tougher on your frets as opposed to nickel?
I don't know, dude. I've never had to have any fret jobs on any of my basses. And I play the crap out of it. I mean,
Or what if these were on a fretless bass, would these be easier on your
Maybe.
fingerboard? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so is everything flat right now?
Yeah, everything was flat.
Really?
Let me see.
Wow.
Yep, everything's flat.
Incredible.
Flat.
Nice and tight for spanking it.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I mean, you can always make it brighter, obviously.
Yeah. And the low B sounds great.
Yeah. Very present.
So, yeah, they're not able... I think they're taking orders, but they're not available until after, like, April or something. So, exclusive. Kind of cool.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Cool.
So which is passive? This one?
Passive tone is here.
Okay.
And then if you want to go full passive, you pull.
Plus, I mean, this bass just plays so well, and the neck feels great, action's wonderful.
It's a pretty special bass.
It's really...
Yeah.
I got lucky in getting this. It was active.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I haven't played them yet. I want to check them out. Here we go. Sorry. Whoa. Tick, tick, tick.
A little static charge.
So they are smoother. And they feel tighter. They feel
Like
a
the
little
wire
tighter.
wrapping around the string, right? Is it like smaller maybe, or?
Yeah. I noticed that too. It doesn't feel gritty and aggressive.
It's coarse, like the. I don't know how to describe it.
Almost like the lines are, I don't know if they could be any closer together, but they feel smoother.
Yeah, don't know how to describe it. They feel smoother and they feel tight.
Yeah.
They feel nice and tight.
Like you can put these on your bass, go right to your gig and play,
Exactly.
and you won't have that. Your fingers won't be as.
irritated, yeah.
See, I've never gotten that with those other strings.
That's because you're a man.
Well, it very well could be.
If you're digging a lot, it makes a big difference. If you're playing a lot, then your fingers are just sort of callous.
Yeah.
got a winner. There we boost up.
It's definitely a modern sound to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I like them.
They sound good on that bass.
What's that?
I think it's a good match for that bass.
They sound really good. Yeah, I like them. All right, so Pure Blues, Quantum Nickel. What is the tagline? The best of steel with nickel feel. There you go. Pretty cool. So they're also saying Quantum Nickel brighter, more magnetic, top end clank and accuracy, fat mids, big bottom. All right, I concur.
The most powerful bass strings.
So, all right. Let's do one more thing. Let's do one more.
What do we got?
Let's see. We have a bass that you've done some experimenting on with your pickups, because I do want to talk about your pickups.
All right.
So, I've had many basses with your pickups. Love them. Right now, I think I have 2 or 3 with your pickups. I have the Music Master. Oh my God, that weighs 1,000,000 pounds. That you basically here play it.
That's another split coil pickup.
That's a split coil
underneath this cover, which is the kind of cover you would find on a Gibson Thunderbird.
Actually, this bass was Doug Koeppen's bass.
Yeah, it was mine.
It's all in the family.
I want it back.
There you go. So volume tone. So that's basically a P bass pickup under there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mean little bass, man. I put new covers. I put new
knobs.
I like the old school knobs. Oh, and DR sent me flatwounds for this that I will be getting.
Nice.
That I will be putting on soon. So yeah, so these are DR short scale strings on here too.
Steel?
Yes, steel. Those are steel. So, your pickups readily available. You wind them to whatever anybody wants.
I wind them to as I get orders.
Okay.
They're all custom made basically.
Okay. But you do have some where people can, like, I have this jazz bass.
I have
this
the jazz
P
bass set that I make.
Boom.
I have my P bass set that I make.
Okay.
And there's derivations. Do you want them hotter? Do you want them less hot? Do you want them darker?
Cool.
A little brighter?
Okay.
You know, and I experiment with magnets. Alnico 5, Alnico 3. I'm even getting into Alnico 8 magnets now.
Difference being, what's Alnico 8?
Hotter.
Hotter. Oh,
hotter.
so
they're more powerful, brighter.
Because I just put the Alnico 3s, Carrie just put in the red VJ5. And I like it. It's very organic, very, you know.
You're going to get very smooth.
Very cool and smooth. So
Maybe an more even treble.
Okay.
In relation to the mid-range and the bass.
Cool. So you
would like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
Kind of cool. So on this, basically you just kind of wound it. I think I said I just want like an old school like P bass, like a short scale P bass.
I wound this to be a little bit hotter. Alnico 5 magnets.
Yeah. Cool. And it's coil at the top and then the bottom. So it's basically
there's coil here. Coil there.
Cool. Awesome. So and then you brought this over. So this is an Ibanez, like an SR, like a Sound Gear SR 505 or something. Thanks, sir.
SR 505 QM.
Quilted maple.
Quilted maple.
So there you go. So you put your pickups, you had to route a little bit, but you put your new kind of angled full-piece pickups, single coil, they're hum canceling, dual coil.
Split coil.
Split coil is what I should say. Okay.
It's like what's in the Rogers bass.
Exactly.
In the Rogers. Yeah, exactly.
I got this bass just so I could make 5-string pickups and hear them.
There you go.
Really?
You're plugged in. And what you have a Benavente preamp in this?
Chris Benavente 2-band preamp.
Cool. Here, Doug, sit down and play that. So again, it's an example. Wow, that's bright. Very modern. Very modern.
Yeah, when you crank the treble, it really.
It's a cool frequency though. It's a pleasing frequency. It's not an irritating one.
Yeah, it works.
So it works.
Yeah, a lot of preamps I find like the frequency of the bass stops here, but then they put the treble frequency out here.
Yeah.
So you just when you turn that treble knob up, you're getting more hiss than actual sound of the bass, maybe.
going to be offering these as kind of drop-in replacements for certain basses that come with humbucking type of.
This is basically like the EMG 4.0 size.
Okay.
And I can do them in the 3.5, 4. This is 4.5.
Okay.
What did I say? Did I say 3.5?
I think so.
3.5, 4, 4.5.
Okay.
2 inches,
Cool.
4.5 inches.
Nice. All right.
Here. This was a very inexpensive bass. I got it on Craigslist for not very much money.
Cool.
But it was in wretched condition.
I see the mismatched machine heads.
Yeah.
So we can go passive, right?
Yep.
So that's passive.
And then this is passive tone?
Correct.
Something about the inherent quality of this bass is very modern.
Yeah.
It has a more modern quality to it. From what I hear. It's not like the Rogers. The Rogers has a more old school sound. This is a little more modern. I like it.
That's kind of Ibanez-y, isn't
Like,
it? I mean, that's how I think of Ibanez. Is that because of the body size and?
Probably, and the way the neck is constructed. It's definitely, thin neck this way.
Yeah, and that's going to affect tone.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect Gary's tone. His necks are comfortably thin.
That's true.
He uses voodoo though.
Yeah, this is
And love.
He's got
Gary
something
uses
going
voodoo
on
and a
there.
lot of love. Voodoo love.
So it's passive. There's some active action. Sounds good though. You know
Sounds
what?
good.
What are we playing through? What is this?
That's a Form Factor 112 cabinet.
Form Factor?
Form Factor.
Single 12.
Single 12 Neo. It's a Neo cab.
And this is a Mark bass.
Mark bass, Little Mark.
Mark II.
Original Little Mark II. Yeah. Old school. Still works.
Sounds cool. Wonderful.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think if you were to string this up with a high C,
Yeah,
you'd really have something. Especially
Yeah.
with the narrower spacing.
I would love that. I think it sounds great. I think it's a great improvement on this on this little Ibanez.
Yeah. That's cool.
You should have seen it when I got it. It was just
Atrocious. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
falling apart.
Yeah, but
But that's
you
it.
want.
That was the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I haven't played this thing.
Yeah.
It's weird. The smaller string spacing, so.
You can manage it. You can do it, Steve.
Low B's not the best. Just the string, the bass, but still.
That's a bass-to-bass thing. Because I've played a bunch of Ibanez's, and a lot of them, even the cheap ones, have good low B.
Yeah.
It's just construction. You never know what you're gonna get. You know. It's how the pieces of wood go together and match up.
I'm sure that's a huge improvement from what it was.
Yeah.
All around. So.
Yeah, I got it from this kid, and it was in pieces.
Okay.
Like all the tuners. One of the tuners that busted apart.
Wow.
And these are all mismatched. I don't know.
He was playing metal. He was just like.
Actually, he's a reggae.
He's a reggae guy. Cool.
That's not the right bass for reggae.
No. I like your pickups, man.
Thank you.
Those are awesome. So, cool, dude. All right. I think we've covered some good ground here,
Yeah.
Bass Geeks.
We're talking about things.
You want to grab the Rogers and we'll do a little sign off. Doug, come on in here. All right, guys. We are the Bass Geeks, and this is Doug, where'd you go? Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to UlyateInstruments.com to check out Howard's pickups and everything. Go to Ray Rogers. Find Ray Rogers on Facebook.
Roger.
Ray Roger on Facebook. I'll put links up. So yeah, we'll be back soon. Oh yeah, we did talk about the DR Pure Blues also. Be on the lookout for those. We give them a thumbs up. They're definitely different. We have 2 camps here, some stainless steel and some nickel, and we both like those. So thumbs up on it. And we're signing off. We're the Bass Geeks. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Adios.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and watching and listening to the Bass Geeks podcast. Basically part of the Bass Hang, but it is just a group of nerdy bass players, including myself, just geeking out on bass gear. I wanted to kind of expand a little bit on this episode. So episode 2 of Bass Geeks. And I definitely want to thank Howard Ulyate and Doug Koeppen for helping me out, because it definitely gives me another great perspective having these guys just to kind of shoot ideas off of and talk about gear and hear their opinions, and especially hear them play, because I get rather sick of hearing myself play all the time, so it's nice to have that other voice. And they're just great players and great guys, and we just have a blast talking gear. Again, thank you, Howard Ulyate and Doug Koeppen. But I wanted to kind of do a little additional add-on, if that makes sense. Is that redundant? To expand on DR strings. I want to talk about 3 particular sets. I want to bring up the Pure Blues again, because I have been messing with them and playing with them a little bit more. I've played maybe 1 or 2 gigs since we shot that episode with the Pure Blues. They're still bright. They still have a lot of life to them. They're almost all life. I mean, they sound like brand new strings put on. My genetic makeup, thankfully, I don't destroy strings right away, so they last a long time for me, but they're still bright. As we were kind of talking, the more I kind of play them, they do feel smoother. So they're a nickel string, a round core nickel string, the Pure Blues that are on my Nordy VJ5. They have a smoother feel as far as touch. It almost feels as if the winds are maybe closer together. So I don't know, they just feel a lot smoother. Where the lowriders, fat beams, and the high beams, lowriders, fat beams, feel a little rougher. And again, I like and love those strings, and I love steel strings. So these feel smoother. And they also have a more round tone to them. They're very nice and they're bright, but they definitely have a smooth, kind of a nice round tone, very mellow. It's not pokey, it's not pointy at all. So I am very much looking forward to trying these on a fretless bass that I'm having built for me by Marco Basses. So I'm definitely going to try these strings on that bass. I think that'll be really nice, just to have that smoother sound, that smoother feel also. So I'm basically, for right now, for this segment of the podcast and the video cast, I'm playing through my GK MB800 and my Aguilar GS112 cabinet. So everything is flat on this bass, so I'll play it a little bit. Again, this is the VJ5 with the Pure Blues. So I like the feel. All right, so those are the Pure Blues. They are going to be available in April from DR Strings, and I think they have a hit with these. They're really great. I really like them. They're going to stay on this bass for a while, and when I get my fretless from Marco basses, they will be, these ones won't be, but a new set will be on that bass, and I'm looking forward to that because I definitely love nickel strings on fretless. I always play nickel strings on fretless. All right, so the next example or next strings by DR that I want to talk about are the DDT strings. So these are kind of sleeper strings. A lot of people don't know about these unless you're doing drop-down tuning, which is what the acronym DDT stands for. But Kim from DR last year, not this NAMM, but NAMM 2014, gave me a set and said, no, you have to try them just on a regular bass, regular tuning. And I freaking love them. They're just great. They are, I'm pretty sure, they are a steel string. And I'm playing a Stingray, 78 Stingray, with the boost only 2-band preamp, bass almost all the way up, treble just a little bit. Because the bass is bright. Very, very bright. But the strings feel a little rougher. I'm pretty sure they are steel. The windings feel like they're a little bit thicker, so I like that feeling also. And they are just great. They are pointy. I've played a few sets of DDTs on different basses, and they're just killing. So they're also, I will say this, they feel tighter and more taut, I should say. Like they just feel a little firmer. The pure blues kind of have this feel to them, whereas the lowriders, high beams, have a little bit of a looser feel. I like all their strings, so it's just nice to be able to try the different ones out. But these, I like B flat major 7, apparently. They're just great strings. Those are the drop-down tuning DDT. Give them a shot in regular tuning. You don't have to drop down. They just feel great. They hold their tuning very easily. They come up to pitch and they just stay there. And I actually find that with a lot of DR strings, they just hold their tuning, I should say, very well and very easily. You don't have to stretch the strings. I did a video for them, for DR, talking about how to change the strings and what to do. And you don't want to pull and yank. It's just set them up, tune them up, and you're ready. But crimp them 90 degrees. All right, the last set that I want to talk about, and this is a fresh set of DR Flatwound Legends. All right, so I want you to keep that in mind, that these are just straight out of the box. I put them on, I think last night, onto my Music Master, a little short scale Music Master bass. And I think I've talked about these strings to either Howard, I think we were talking about Flatwounds. And this is an Ulyate P-bass pickup. So it's stout, it's loud, and it's just killer. Volume is all the way up, tone is all the way up. So they're just thuddy sounding. They really give me the impression of strings that have been on a bass for a really long time. especially for, you know, like Motowny. I love these strings. And that's with the tone wide open. So those are the DR Flatwound Legends. They sound like they're just a great, great broken in set of strings. I'll also play it with the tone rolled all the way off. It's like a tuba. And then tone up. Tone down. Tone up. So they are killer strings. I really am a fan because they sound so dead and thuddy. So anyways, that was just a little additional information I wanted to put on this podcast. Bass Geeks Podcast number 2. It was a blast to shoot, and I have so much fun doing these. Stay tuned. I have planned some really rad Bass Geeks podcasts. Bass Geeks podcasts coming up. I believe the next one is going to be on preamps. So we're going to get a group of bass geeks, my buddies, and bass hang crew guys, and we're going to talk preamps. We're going to have we're going to talk the A Designs preamp. We're going to talk the Monique Jewel, I think, is going to be part of that. We're going to talk 3-leaf audio. I'm going to also incorporate the A Designs Ventura. So, and a few other ones too. I think we're going to use the Dawes Audio, the little preamp that mimics an Ernie Ball Stingray preamp, and I think the Sadowski pre, which is great also. And then maybe we'll get the Nordy little EQ over here too, which will be pretty rad. That'll be part of the mix. So anyways, till next time, guys, please go to thebasshang.com, download the podcast. You can go to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, the Bass Hang podcasts are on there, and subscribe. And again, I really appreciate everyone that's listening and has any interest in this, because it's pretty fun. It's a blast. So again, Bass Hang podcast, subscribe to it, and if you have any questions, email me at steve@thebasshang.com. And until next time, we'll see ya. Peace. Adios.